Barça bombshells, Lewandowski, Luis Díaz and Romeu's farewell. Welcome back, Culers. Today's episode is packed with drama, decisions and departures. Saudi Arabia want Lewandowski, but will Barça cash in on their highest paid star? Or will the striker stay loyal until 2026? Meanwhile, Luis Díaz is off to Bayern in a €70 million move, leaving Barcelona frustrated after making him their top summer target. Saudi Arabia Barça are also set to announce a €44 million sponsorship deal with the DRC to solve fair play issues. But does it mean more exits are coming? And in one of the classiest stories of the summer, Oriol Romeu remains behind training alone, despite being out of Flick's plans, showing professionalism and respect until the very end. You do not want to miss this one. Every twist, every quote, every angle from a turbulent summer at FC Barcelona. Robert Lewandowski has been a real asset for Barcelona since joining the club 3 years ago. In just 147 competitive matches, the forward has netted over 100 goals, making him a key reason behind Barcelona's recent success. Lewandowski is also coming on the back of his most productive season, racking up 27 goals in 34 La Liga matches. The forward's performances have convinced Barcelona, who are ready to entrust him with the responsibility of leading the front line next season. Saudi Arabia ready to test Barcelona's resolve. However, as Barcelona gear up for the new season, the club may face yet another raid from Saudi Arabia for Lewandowski. According to Mundo Deportivo, Saudi clubs are monitoring Lewandowski's situation and want to see if the forward is ready to move to the Middle East on a huge deal. Barcelona, for their part, are satisfied with Lewandowski and have no problem letting him continue at least until 2026, when his contract ends. However, the Blaugrana are open to letting the Pole leave the club if he is indeed interested in moving to Saudi Arabia this summer. Barça, however, are keen on obtaining an astronomical figure if they are to sell the veteran striker, especially considering the fact that the club spent a fortune to sign him. That being said, the decision also lies with the player himself, who is happy at Barcelona and won't be too keen on leaving unless he receives a huge offer from Saudi Arabia. In the past few years, Saudi Arabia clubs have spent quite a fortune on star players, but whether or not they are willing to take a similar bet on Lewandowski this summer remains to be seen. Bayern Munich have officially signed Luis Díaz from Liverpool on a 4-year contract, pulling off a major move that Barcelona had been chasing for months. The Colombian winger was Barca's top target for the summer window, but they were ultimately forced to back out due to the high cost of the deal. Barcelona's sporting director Deco had been pushing for Diaz signing since last year, believing he was the ideal addition to reinforce the attack. Although the club had previously tried to land Nico Williams, this summer all eyes were on Diaz. Unfortunately for the Catalans, the financial numbers just didn't add up. Liverpool were not keen on negotiating with Barca, largely due to past tensions over transfer dealings, something President Joan Laporta openly acknowledged. In June, Barcelona made a formal approach, but Liverpool rejected it outright. In contrast, Bayern Munich stepped in with a strong offer, reportedly paying €70 million upfront, with another €5 million in add-ons based on easily achievable performance clauses. This was far beyond Barcelona's cap of €60 million, especially considering their ongoing struggles with player registration and salary limits. Diaz, now 28, is also set for a huge pay increase. He'll earn around €14 million per year, almost triple what he was making at Liverpool. While he was open to a move to Barcelona, the financial package from Bayern, both for the club and the player, proved to be the decisive factor. Diaz delighted to join Bayern. The 28-year-old winger was said to be keen on a move to Barcelona, but ended up asking Liverpool to negotiate with Bayern this summer. He had the following to say upon joining Bayern. Barcelona are set to announce a €44 million sponsorship deal with the Democratic Republic of Congo in the coming hours. The agreement will generate fair play margin and help in registering new signings. Barca will receive €10.11.5 million per year over 4 years, with the DRC logo to appear on some of the club's sportswear. I'm very happy. It means a lot to me to be part of FC Bayern. They're one of the biggest clubs in the world. I want to help my new team with my way of playing football and my character. My goal is to win every possible title, and that's what we'll work for every day as a team. Barcelona once again find themselves in a situation of need regarding their salary limit, and it is no surprise to see a number of their players linked with exits. The latest is Robert Lewandowski. The 36-year-old has a year remaining on his deal after reaching an agreement to extend his contract in spring, and thus far has maintained that he intends to see it out. According to MD, Saudi Arabia have taken an interest in Lewandowski again. Ever since Barcelona's salary limit issues, this has been a common theme, with the Polish striker the highest-paid Barcelona star alongside Frenkie de Jong, and due to his age, not part of their long-term plans. Barcelona's stance on Lewandowski's future. As things stand, Barcelona are planning to have Lewandowski in their squad next season, and in theory he would be their starting number 9 going into the year. Nevertheless, should Lewandowski ask for a move, the club would be open to it, albeit they would demand a transfer fee. It is also noted that the Saudi transfer window does not end until the 23rd of September, well after the 1st of September deadline in Spain. This season, with the addition of Marcus Rashford, Barcelona also have more alternatives through the middle, with Dani Olmo and Ferran Torres also seen as options through the middle. Lewandowski has no intention of moving. The latest update from Lewandowski himself is that he is keen to play for Barcelona next season. On multiple occasions he has stated that he feels he has multiple years at the top level left in him, and Lewandowski was their top scorer last season with 42 goals. It appears Saudi Arabia would have to tempt him with a mind-boggling offer for the situation to change. Barcelona leave door open to exits. It has not gone unnoticed that a number of Barcelona players have been touted on the market over the last 2 months. And the same outlets say that the club are not ruling out exits in the final stages of the transfer window. They mention Lewandowski, Marc-Andre ter Stegen, Ronald Araujo, Marc Casado and Fermin Lopez as players that could receive interest, and more often than not, stories emerging about all 5 leaving have come from Catalonia. Amidst Barcelona's pre-season tour of Korea and Japan, it is to be noted that one player remains far from the spotlight, namely Oriol Romeu. According to Sport, the 33-year-old midfielder, currently not part of Hansi Flick's plans, is living a different kind of pre-season, one filled with uncertainty but handled with utmost professionalism. Romeu is the only member of the first team who did not travel with the rest of the squad, as he remains in Barcelona, quietly working on his future. Training alone in Barcelona. At the Ciutat Esportiva Joan Gamper, the midfielder trains daily not out of obligation, but out of personal discipline and commitment to his craft. Although he is not contractually required to continue these sessions, Romeu trains individually, always supported by a small group of club staff who stayed behind in the Catalan capital. Together with his agent, Romeu is currently evaluating offers. While there is no final decision yet, discussions are active. One of the options on the table is a return to Girona, a club where Romeu had previously excelled before making the switch back to Barça. However, it is not the top priority. Other clubs have also shown interest, including Valencia, who are keen on bringing in the experienced midfielder. Despite knowing that he does not feature in Flick's plans, Romeu has remained respectful and focused. There has been no disruption, no complaints, only quiet dedication. Commendable attitude. Sources close to the dressing room describe him as a low-profile figure, someone who always seeks to contribute and never stirs trouble. His attitude has earned him the respect of those around him. Even as his time at Barcelona seems to be drawing to a close, Romeu is handling the transition with dignity and maturity. A final decision on his next club is expected soon, and if his next destination values professionalism, leadership and experience, they'll be gaining far more than just a midfielder. So where do things stand for Barcelona? Lewandowski remains committed, but the Saudi window is still open until late September. Don't rule out a last-minute mega offer. Luis Díaz is gone, and with Barca pulling back due to finances, it's a reality check on their transfer strategy. Behind the scenes, Deco and Laporta are working hard to balance the books with new sponsorship deals, but the future of players like Marc Casado, Fermin Lopez, and even ter Stegen remains uncertain. And as for Romeu, whether he heads to Girona or Valencia, one thing is clear. His dedication is an example for every pro. Smash that like button, hit subscribe and drop a comment. Should Barca sell Lewandowski now or keep him until 2026? Was letting Luis Díaz slip a major mistake? We'll be back with more transfer updates, tactical previews and player profiles, only here on the channel. Visca Barça.